on the line, I have with me our favorite doctor, that is Dr. Bhagat. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lorato. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. I was about to say, the thing about New Year's is that all the time, and I'm one of them, we tend to always have a list and we have goals that we want to set. Mine, I was just sharing earlier on the show that I really want to live an active lifestyle, but I know you have more on that today.
Absolutely, Rajo. This is the time and the month and the beginning of the year where everybody makes resolutions. I want to take time for people to understand why they make them, and often they break them. By the end of the month, they've broken their gym membership, they've failed on their diet, they've failed on lots of things. And I think it's time to make not so much resolutions, but sort of lifestyle changes that can stick for 2022. To be honest, if there's anything we've learned in 2021, it's that maintaining our health and wellness really has become the need of the hour. And while the COVID pandemic has taken its toll on both our physical and mental well-being, there's no way we can compromise our lifestyle anymore. And this, having said that, let's begin the upcoming year with lots of hope and healthy resolutions. And if you're yet to make such commitments, let's talk about dealing with a couple of things that I think are important. And number one on my list, I've made a couple of resolutions or lifestyle changes that are important. And the top of my list, Larato, is to eat more whole foods. By that I mean, the easiest way to start a healthy is to make a conscious effort to fill your plate every time with foods like, vegetables and fruits and whole grains and legumes and nuts and seeds and less processed foods that we love to eat. The boroto and the palechi, the cheese and the processed meats and the frozen meals. All those things are really things that are really not good for you. They're fake foods, just like big news. Try and eat organic, try and eat healthy, try and eat from the soil. You can eat your dinawa and your morocco and your, lebelele and your coffee. These are the natural foods that should be filling out of your plate. That's really important. And, in terms of a diet, it's really important to use a sustainable diet, because so often people come to me at the beginning of the year and show me, a diet plan, but by 2-3 months into the time, they've broken away from it because it's good to maintain a difficult diet. So instead of following, trending fad diets that deliver sometimes fast results while compromising your metabolism, diets that you can't possibly stay long term, will not achieve your weight in the long term. A lot of us out there gone on a broccoli, cabbage, or oil diet. Because you can't stay, you can keep your weight again. Make sure that you choose a nutrition plan that not only meets your goals, but also a diet that can become a lifestyle, not like a diet.
Now, with what you've just said, which I totally agree, and what I've seen, obviously it's from experience, and you're right. We'll start this goal or meal plan, and for those who can manage 3 months, that's even kudos to them. I tend to by the third week of Jan, I'm just like, you know what, I've done this and I can't anymore. How do I maintain or rather in introduction of whole foods and making sure that I do eat my greens and try and stay away from the processed foods that you speak of? How do I maintain and keep on track without losing the battle 3 months from now, or even 6 months from now, or next week?
Lorato, it has to start with first the intention. I intend to do this, and after the intention, it needs to become a habit. And once it becomes a habit, you then change it. If the habit is consistent, it becomes a behavior. Once it becomes part of your behavior, it becomes part of your routine. And once it becomes your routine, it actually becomes who you are. So the intention turns into a habit, turns into behavior, turns into a routine, and then it becomes something you do on a daily basis. The consistency, Lorato, is the only currency, and there's no magic bullet. There's no quick fix. There's no, all these meal plans and diet plans that people sell you. They're all junk because they rely on a time frame. You cannot rely on a time frame. It has to be part of the lifestyle. So have the intention, make it a behavior, make it into a habit, make it into a routine, and then make it actually who you are. You are the person that dishes out a big veggies on the plate. You can cheat them again. The problem with cheating is you cheat once. It's very easy to cheat again. And then psychologists call it the habit change. If today you miss your gym, next day you'll say, this is yesterday, so you know what, I'll start again. That becomes difficult to get back into the routine. So it's important to do that. Another important aspect of routine rather than a resolution is to incorporate movement into your daily routine. People talk about gyms and expensive memberships to exercise programs and personal trainers. That depends on your budget, it depends on mood, it depends on your timetable. Whether it is workout, playing sport, or simply going out for a stroll, it's important to get your blood flowing and stimulate oxygen supply to every part of your body. And this can be even in your office. You can take time out of your sitting if you do your occupation sitting all the time and just do a couple of sit-ups or lunges. I call them kitchen workouts. If you work in a 2 or 3 story building, go up and down the stairs 2 or 3 times during the day, so that you incorporate movement into your daily exercise. That becomes part and parcel of the you incorporate it into it. And another one that's really important is to prioritize sleep. Ever has become a badge of honor in our society. We often end up prioritizing socializing over sleeping, and take our bodies to extremes of sleep deprivation, by over-caffeinating, which further results in anxiety and a weakened immune response. So, lack of sleep, we talked about this many times last year. Lack of sleep, poor quality of sleep, can lead to some serious health problems, such as insulin resistance and diabetes, pain problems, weight gain, depression, anxiety, to name a few. So it's really important to make a resolution to try and get at least 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep every day for our bodies to perform. That's important. Last question, lots of questions already coming, is to try and reduce stress. This has been 2021, if you want to encapsulate it into one word. We've all had an enormous amount of stress with lockdown, with quarantine, with restrictions, with COVID, with infections, with family members getting ill. Often overlooked, but stress is a major almost all the health problems I see. Beginning with heart disease, where if you stress, your blood pressure goes up. If you stress, you don't have time to exercise. If you stress, you drink alcohol. If you stress, you so that it has its toll on heart disease, on obesity, on diabetes, and even your digestive system. If you're stressed, you tend to have more acid reflux. You tend to have more constipation. You tend to have more bloating. And if you're stressed, of course, you're more likely to get depressed. So stress can be both internal and external. Although the goal can't be to eliminate stress, because stress is part of our life. It's written that life is easy. But practicing a bit of deep breathing, some yoga or some meditation, even exercise is a good form of stress relief. The me time I'm talking about, take some time for what I call me time. It's not so
Now, with the things that you've mentioned, right, which are very great points, especially when you speak on stress, my light bulb went up and was like, Lerato, you need to start now looking at these things. I've noted that, in terms of the healthy eating, as well as monitoring that I do take into effect, trying to have some sort of mobility in my routine, right, as well as managing my stress. What effects could come into play if I overindulge in any of these things, or even outside of these things? Maybe, like you're saying, you were talking about cheat days. I mean, one cheat day a week, no, Dr. Burkett?
The problem with cheat days, Lerato, is that eventually when eating healthy, exercise, getting a routine, getting sleep becomes part of you, you actually believe that you don't want to cheat. I know people that we've literally encouraged them to completely sugar. Go back to a little bit.
Hold on, Dr. Baggett. I can't hear you quite properly. If you could
And
just,
it's
I
the
don't
same
know
with
if you could
the
shift,
same with alcohol and tobacco
but you
and
were saying?
all those nasty things. If you suspend them for a while, you find brain and your lifestyle. Don't because they just don't sense reason for you, and eventually that routine becomes a lifestyle that's actually called and no Narato. She gets 8 hours sleep, and no Narato. So it really is something that you need to work on a regular basis. It's not, unfortunately, a resolution. It's something you need to conduct literally for the rest of your life. One of the things that is important too is to say with affirmations. Now, affirmation is speaking to yourself out loud. That you're going to focus on your goal. You're going to have the right attitude. You're going to have the attitude in your practice. Positive self-talk really has a power to completely turn around disbelief. Sometimes negative thinking and what I call body shaming, where you put yourself, you just shame yourself into guilt. So let's not underestimate the power of positive affirmation. So these are really important in terms of the intentions. Remember what I said: an intention must become a habit, which becomes a behavior, routine, and then it becomes part of your lifestyle. So this is important. Last but not least, choose passion over perfection. Ditch completely tasks harder. Do it with all the passion that you can. You don't have to be perfect, but the perfect is the enemy of good. So try and do things. If you fall down, just get up again. Go back to your routine. There's nothing wrong with falling down in terms of your routines for 2022. But get up and try again.
Oh, man, thank you so much, Dr. Baggett. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but I definitely know with what you've given me today, I will definitely take it into heart, and hopefully 6 months from now, I can call you or call on the show and be like, Dr. Baggett, you know what, I'm still going strong, even though we're not perfect, but at least I managed to maintain what I intentionally, but that's the biggest thing that I will take away from today, that the intent is there and I'm intentionally doing this, right?
Absolutely. Rato. Good luck and God bless, and we'll see the crowd next week. Next week we're going to continue on this month's theme, and we'll be talking about the healthy carbs and healthy fats. What are healthy carbs and what are healthy fats?
I will definitely be tuned in next week.